study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
The best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
This episode is brought to you by Prime. What if you had one more chance with the one that got away?
Sam,
you came home.
Based on the best-selling novel from Carly Fortune. Every Year After follows childhood friends Sam and Percy as they reunite in the dreamy, nostalgic lakeside town of Barry's Bay.
love can be hard to find. So if you're lucky enough to find that person, never let go.
A second chance at first love. Every Year After. Streaming June 10th, only on Prime.
I have to go into it because you filed a counterclaim. Yeah. I'm not trying to embarrass you. Do you want to drop your counterclaim or you want to push forward? Because that's the reason why we're going through this.
This is the plaintiff, Jeff. He says he rented a room in the defendant's house for a short time because living there was like living in a house of horrors. The woman was passed out in her bed while her 5-year-old was left outside unsupervised. He called Child Protective Services, and now the defendant's withholding his security out of spite. He needs the court's help today and is suing the woman for the $800 he's owed. This is the defendant, Kimberly. She says the plaintiff's a troublemaker who reported her for being an unfit mother. The case was dismissed, but it was a horrible ordeal to go through, and the plaintiff falsely reported her because he's a nasty, nasty human being. Owe him money? No way. She's the one who's owed. She's accused of lousy landlording. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for defamation of character and pain and suffering.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
okay. Neither of you would like your last names mentioned, so we'll respect that. Jeff, you're suing Kimberly for $800 of a security deposit that you say she is falsely holding on to. You are suing him for $5,000 for defamation of character and pain and suffering. Tell me what happened.
So I moved in from a listing I found on Craigslist, and then I paid the deposit, paid rent, and when I decided to move out, I gave her 30 days notice.
How long did you live there?
I lived there for probably like 3 months, I'd say.
Did you have a lease?
We didn't.
Okay.
So when I moved out, I gave her 30 days notice, and then when that 30 days came up, we tried to figure out a way to meet up and try to exchange the keys and exchange for the deposit. And she kept on texting me that she was going to do it. She had cash, this and that, and then it never happened. And so then I just went to a small claims court and just put the paperwork in because I knew she was just stalling and stalling and stalling. So.
Okay, and why was it that you were moving out of there?
Because it was extremely uncomfortable, just living with her son, and I didn't feel like I didn't want to put in a weird situation because there were times I'd wake up, she wasn't there, it was just the sun, she ran out, or the reason I moved out even before the 30 days, like I gave her 30 days and I moved out before that was because I showed up one day and it was like, I don't know, like 8, 9 o'clock at night. Sun was downstairs, it was raining outside with the dog, was knocking, our other roommate that was there.
Hold on a second.
So this older gentleman that the son called with the cell phone was there, couldn't get into the apartment. We let him in, and then she was in her bed, like just out, and the son was just sitting there, like yelling, and so we had to talk to him, and I was like, I can't live anymore. So that's why I said, I'm moving out.
Okay, I'm sorry. That happened when?
May 21st it happened.
And you moved out in June, a month later?
Correct.
Okay. And she was passed out and the child was outside, and the child was how old?
I don't even know.
How old's your child?
He's 7 years old.
7, okay. And That's why you moved out?
Yeah, I just didn't feel comfortable living with her, and I didn't feel like she had a job to kind of, if we were going to lose one roommate, and if he left, I was afraid that, well, if she can't find someone, like, am I going to be evicted? And she's like, no, don't worry about it. New York landlords are pretty understanding, especially if you have a kid.
New York landlords, the courts are pretty pro-tenant.
So
Maybe that's what she meant.
I found another place.
So why is it that he says that you're keeping a security deposit? Why is it that you're keeping the security deposit?
Okay, so I'm a single mother, and I just moved back from abroad this year.
Where abroad? Where?
I was living in Cape Town, in South Africa, and that's where my son was born. He's now 7. So I rented my first apartment in New York, the 1st of March. Jeff applied through Craigslist to come, and live with us. And, I agreed to allow him to move in. He paid his deposit with the specific understanding he was planning to stay long term.
Well, that specific understanding is not legally binding unless you have a lease. Otherwise, it's just a month-to-month by operation of law. Did you sign a lease?
No, we didn't.
Then he can give you 30 days and leave whenever he feels like it,
Yeah.
unless you have something in writing that says otherwise. All right, so go ahead.
So he gave me 30 days notice. I said I would pay him back, but I had told him specifically I was waiting on the next person to move in before I could pay him back his money.
Well, you're not supposed to spend the security deposit. You know that, right? But you did.
Yeah.
And you can't hold him to staying there and giving you more than 30 days notice, but you did.
Yeah.
And then, and then what happened?
Okay. Jeff started harassing me. So, I started to receive text messages, lots of nasty stuff. He had told me multiple times if I didn't pay him, he was not gonna play nice. He was
Show me
gonna
the
play
text
dirty.
messages.
Well, actually, I don't have any text messages.
I do.
Why don't you?
Before I knew this case was going to happen, I deleted my text messages. I didn't want that stuff hanging around.
Okay, you can always get that from your carrier, though, just so you know.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
All right.
I figured he'd have them if he...
All right, he happens to. May 20th, but I want to make sure he's not deleting something and showing me what he feels like showing me. That's why I always ask both sides.
Okay.
Morning, Jeff, my apologies for last night. I'm horrified myself. I'm making changes so that can never happen again. I'm under great stress at the moment. Call me if you want to or see you later. What is that about? That's
He mentioned
May 22nd,
a specific evening when I was exhausted and I was, tired, and there was a friend of mine. He was with my son, and my son had forgotten to take the keys when he walked out. So, there were people knocking at the door and trying to get in. And
Who was knocking at the door?
a friend of mine named Wimfield, who was knocking on the door, and my
your child?
son. And my son.
But had Winfield been with your child the entire time?
Not the entire time, but he had come.
He had come
He
because
was
your child
planning
had
to come.
called him?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so
by the way,
what happened to you? You were exhausted and you passed out, or you were?
I was exhausted, and I had a sleeping pill that I had planned that I was going to get a really good night's rest that night.
Okay,
So,
except for that your child was still outside? How did your child get outside?
so I would like to just say one thing.
Can you tell
that
me how your child got outside?
He was walking the dog.
The 7-year-old was?
Yeah.
Where do you
Took him
live that
just
you feel
out-
comfortable doing that at 7? That's kind of young. I don't know. I guess it kind of
So,
depends on where you live. Where do you live?
Excuse me, can I
Where
just...
do you live? Manhattan?
Manhattan.
And your 7-year-old was walking the dog alone? I don't think that's a good idea. In any event, that happens May 22nd. He moves out June what?
Okay, so as I said, this case was already heard with ACS.
What case?
He called ACS about this specific incident, and what I'm trying to explain to you is that this is not fair for the court to be going back and judging me because it's double jeopardy. It's already been seen by
I'm sorry,
ACS.
hold on. What is the point of your $5,000 lawsuit? You're
That
suing him for...
he called ACS, he made a
Right,
complaint.
I have to go into it because you filed a counterclaim.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to embarrass you. Do you want to drop your counterclaim or you want to push forward? Because that's the reason why we're going through this. You understand? Listen to me. I know it's embarrassing, but do you understand why I asked you these questions? You have a $5,000 lawsuit for defamation because you feel he maliciously called ACS on you.
Yeah.
And so we're getting into that. That's why I'm asking you these questions, because of your lawsuit, not because I'm a mean person.
Not my lawsuit, by the way.
Your counterclaim is... Did you file a counterclaim?
The counterclaim is mine.
Right.
Thank you.
So do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So do you understand why I'm asking you the questions?
I believe that if a case was already tried, basically, tried, that
the case wasn't tried.
Details would
what happened is he calls ACS. When do you call ACS? The Child Protective Services.
He called
what does ACS stand for?
Administration of Children's Services.
Administration of Children's Services. Is it true that you called them?
I did.
And you decided to call them when? After you state in a text to her that it's, the exact phrase isn't, it's going to get ugly, it's something else. What was the exact phrase?
Right.
What was the exact phrase? Do you remember or no?
I have no clue.
He did it when he said, when I was not going to pay. And when
What's
I was
the
not
date
pay
of the text that I'm looking?
It was a threat. It was
I know, I'm just going to read the text. What's the date?
Around June 23rd?
June 23rd. There we go.
June 25th, actually.
June 25th. Okay. How do you know it was June 25th?
Because ACS turned up on the same day.
Okay. Yeah, like I predicted, that full text isn't there. Why isn't that full text there?
Because I didn't put it in there.
Of course.
Because I'm not going to accuse
You
myself.
hurt yourself in a case? You're just going to try to
You're not gonna
mislead
tell the
me into
truth.
thinking that, in fact, you have everything in here for me to look at when you just picked and chose what you wanted to put in here? Is that's how you play?
No.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you call ACS?
Because I felt, in previous experiences working in social work, that I wasn't going to call when I'm living there. That's the thing. I did
Why
not.
not?
Because I just didn't feel comfortable. I want to get out of the house.
Why not?
And then, because I just didn't feel comfortable. I just didn't want to.
Either the child's in danger or the child's not in danger, right? Why is it that you call ACS after she tells you to stop calling her if she's not giving you your money back?
Because I was probably being vindictive.
Yeah. That's precisely right. You were being vindictive. Hence the lawsuit on her part for defamation of character, because she thinks that you must have said a hell of a lot more to ACS than one day, a month ago, she fell asleep or passed out or was drunk or whatever, and I saw her son on the stoop with an adult. You had to have said more to ACS if they opened up an investigation. How long did the investigation take?
60 days.
And then it was unfounded or founded?
Unfounded.
Right. So let me see if I've got this straight. Over $600, you brought Child Protective Services into a family's life where you didn't think it was important to bring it up a month earlier when the so-called event had actually happened.
Correct.
What kind of jerk are you that you would do something like that to her and or a child? Why don't you just do like the rest of us have to do and just go to court and sue for your money? And what do you think I'm going to do now?
I don't know.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, do all parents kind of make mistakes from time to time when it comes to watching their kids?
I say yes, because kids will be kids and you can't be there.
Well, kids will be kids, but parents are responsible for watching them.
Yes, they definitely are responsible for their kids.
But do they is a good parent a parent who never makes a mistake?
No, everybody makes mistakes from time to time.
What makes a good parent is you have to make mistakes in order to learn from them. And parents, they'll...
So if you make a mistake, it's not like you're Dina Lohan or anything, right? Okay, going inside the courtroom.
Do you understand the strain that it puts on a family to go through being investigated like that? And you did it like it's some little sword for you to play with?
I didn't tell him more.
And according to you, it didn't even end there, did it?
It didn't end there.
Because according to you, you lost your job. Tell me how you lost your job.
Mid-October, there was a letter that was received by my employer, and my boss called me and he said, listen, I'm really unhappy about this, but your personal life is getting into mine, and I'm, he didn't say anything more than that at that time, but the thing is that right now, that campaign is no longer.
I understand. Were you fired or weren't you?
I wasn't. I was a contractor.
So you were not rehired?
I was not rehired.
The time for you to be rehired has already passed?
Yeah.
And you were not rehired?
I was
or
not
now's
rehired.
the time for you to be rehired?
Now is the time.
So you don't know if you're going to be rehired?
I don't think so, because I would
What
have
was
been.
the letter that you got? This?
Yeah.
Dear Mr. Blank, from articles on the internet, I see you have some affiliation with Ms. And it has your last name. I would strongly advise you to complete thorough background checks on you prior to furthering the relationship. Look for civil actions in the New York State court system, increasingly demanding behavior, particularly around money, increased sexually enticing behavior in an attempt to lure you in, deceit and lies. I hope I am wrong, but do your due diligence. Yours truly, and then there's nobody signing that. Did you send this letter?
Did I send? No, I have no idea what that even is.
Did he ever come on to you?
No.
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 Do you have other enemies?
Not that I know of.
Okay, I'm putting this to a side. You don't even know if you're going to get picked up or not get picked up. You didn't really actually lose your job over it, and you can't really prove that it's him, although we do know that he has a vindictive streak that he proudly admitted to in here. I am, however, going to look at your defamation of character case. The $800 in security deposit you have kept for no other reason other than the fact that you thought he'd be around and you didn't have the money to pay him.
I told him that...
Are there any damages to the apartment?
No, there were not.
Did he give you 30 days notice?
Yes, he did.
Okay, then you don't have a right to keep the $800.
I told him I owed him $800, and I was planning to pay.
Well, I'm going to find in your favor in the amount of the security deposit of $800. But before you get too happy, I'm going to find in her favor in the lawsuit against you for manipulating the system for your own benefit, because I find that to be unforgivable. I am finding in your favor in the defamation case in the amount of $3,000, minus the $800 in security deposit that you owe him is a net judgment in your favor in the amount of $2,200. Pay the lady.
So the defendant does collect quite a bit on defamation of character. How embarrassed are you about your actions?
Not really. I mean,
calling.
She did what she did, and
that phone call to the Child Administrative
legit,
Services. Yeah. You would do that again?
Yeah, I would. I would have made it sooner, though.
All right. Okay.
All right, sir.
All right. Come on in here. Are you satisfied how this case comes out?
I'm satisfied. You know, there are lines people should never cross.
How tough has this been for you to go through this whole thing?
It's cost me like basically my livelihood and my well-being for months and months and months.
You have it? Are you getting it back together?
I'm hoping soon.
Harvey?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of states actually give you immunity if you call children's services on somebody because they want to encourage people to do it without fear. And the only time you can be sued is if it's malicious, if the call is purely malicious. In this case, it was malicious, and that's why the defendant won the countersuit. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
This is the plaintiff, Margaret Johnson. She says she was walking her dogs past the defendant's house on the public sidewalk, and the defendant's dog stuck his paw through the fence, grabbed the leg of her dog, and pulled it through the fence. Her dog was screaming and crying, and she started yelling for help. Her dog's arm was ripped from its socket. The defendant's ignoring her, and instead of taking the law into her own hands, she's suing the irresponsible defendant for the $5,000 she's owed. This is the defendant, Abraham Skalim. He says he has a big sign on his fence saying, "Beware of dog." He also has surveillance video showing it was in fact the plaintiff's dog who reached under the fence, and his dog was simply defending himself and his property. It's unfortunate the plaintiff's dog got hurt, but that doesn't mean he has to foot the bill because neither he nor his dog did anything wrong. He's accused of socking it to a dog.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Thank you, Douglas. Margaret Johnson, you are suing Abraham Skalim for $5,000 based on injuries that your dog sustained from his dog. Tell me what happened.
Yes. First of all, good morning, Your Honor. I'd like to let you know that my mother is a huge fan and loves you and told me to tell you hello.
Okay, I'm sure your family members are huge fans of mine too. Okay, now we're even. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay. My mother and I are owners of 2 purebred American Cocker Spaniels, 2 black Cocker Spaniels, and we love them and they're very dearly much a part of our families. On June 19th, Your Honor, I was walking my 2 dogs, and we usually take, our route is up my street, and we go to the defendant street, and we turn south, and we walk down back to my house, which is about a 2-mile walk. On June 19th, we were walking.
Did you take the same walk that day as you always do?
Yes.
Okay, so you've passed in front of the defendant's house numerous times.
I've passed in front of the house.
All right, tell me what happens on that day when you're walking by. You have 2 dogs and they're both on a leash.
I have 2 dogs. They're both on a leash.
Okay.
And as we were walking past the defendant's property, there's a wooden gate that abuts the sidewalk.
Do you have a picture?
Yes.
May I see it?
I also have pictures as well.
Okay, let me see both pictures of the property and the dogs, if you have it.
Everything is there. Okay.
Okay, so go on.
Defendant,
Okay.
plaintiff.
All right, so is this accurate? The wooden fence and the beware of dog sign?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Yes, so as we are walking past the defendant's gate on the sidewalk, his dog begins to bark as we are walking past the gate.
Right.
And my 2 dogs were barking as well. And I don't stop for them to have like a bark fight or anything. I continue to walk past, but I noticed that my dog Harlem is stuck to the gate. So I immediately drop the dog's leash and I run right back to the gate. I get on my knees and I see that.
What do you mean stuck to the gate? The gate is a wooden gate that goes all the way, almost all the way down. I mean, it's got a clearance of how much?
2.5 inches.
2.5 inches, because you can't make it go to the cement, otherwise it won't open.
So I think the key word is almost goes down. There's a wide enough space, Your Honor.
The 2.5 inches?
From
or
the
do you
bottom
dispute
of
that?
the gate and
Answer what I'm asking you. Is it more than 2.5 inches?
Yes.
You think it's more. You didn't happen to take a picture with a...
You have there, Your Honor, with the measure tape.
No, I have a question. Did you happen to take a picture with... What's that right there?
So, okay.
A paw?
Yes, that's his dog's paw.
Okay,
so
wait. No, I'm fascinated. Hold on, and there's your shadow with the iPhone. Okay, so you took a picture on a different day showing that his paw can get underneath?
Yes.
All right, but did anybody... That's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
It's 2.5 inches.
Yeah. Here's what I don't get. I see that it's 2.5 inches, but what is this that I'm looking at there? Another fence? Like, I don't get it.
No.
Oh, that's the ground. That's the ground.
No. Right now, after what happened, I put a piece of plywood behind it.
Okay.
So.
Okay, but before that plywood wasn't there and it was 2.5 inches.
That's it. Yes.
Okay, so go on.
But there was not any warning for me to step into the street.
I have a question. Why do you have video? Because my court staff only does that when there's video. Well, you have video of the actual event?
Yes.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, I have, but I want to say something, please, Your Honor.
Yes.
She just said a few minutes ago that she walked past by my house and the dog bark all the time. My dog, if it's a dog at least 100 feet away, she smells, she bark right away.
What kind of dog do you have?
It's a mixed German Shepherd.
Right. I mean, your dog's job is to protect the house.
Yes.
And that's kind of like why you get a German Shepherd, I would imagine.
Yes.
It's not for that warm, fuzzy glow, but
yeah.
I mean, well, they're very warm and fuzzy, so let me see the video. I can't believe we have video of the actual event. That never happens. How often does that, have you ever seen a dog? Okay, so let's see it.
So if you have a beware of dog sign on the property, are you immune from being sued if somebody gets bit? What do you think?
Absolutely not. I think that if you have a vicious dog, that you should be taking more extreme measures to make sure that the dog...
But a sign says don't come in, right?
I think the sign helps if you're going to be trespassing or breaking into someone's property. Then, whatever happens, happens. But you still have responsibility if someone's passing by, if your dog hurts them or their dog.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
I have 2 videos from 2 different cameras, okay?
From 2 different what?
Two
cameras?
different cameras.
Why do you have so many cameras?
because they broke to my house and they robbed me and they took everything what I worked for all my life. So since then,
I'm sorry to hear
I
that.
put camera all over.
Okay, so go ahead.
See, she pulled the dog pulled her toward my fence. Let me show you for different camera now.
Okay. There's no volume, there's no audio?
No.
Okay.
You see her dog pulling her?
Yeah, rewind that. I want to see that again.
You see?
Yep.
You see?
Yep.
You want to rewind it?
Yep.
Stop.
If you don't mind.
No.
It's interesting because on the one hand, I understand your position. I'm on a public street, I'm on a public sidewalk, Judge, and I should be able to walk my dog. On the other hand, I understand your position because it looks from this video like her dog went to the fence. So what the issue really becomes is, did your dog penetrate his property or did his dog penetrate the sidewalk? It's kind of, really slicing and dicing this to a point that's almost ridiculous. Usually the dog bite cases that I get, people, it's pretty clear. A dog escaped. A dog's off a leash. I've got a homeowner who's doing pretty much everything he can. I mean, I see that he put a plywood up afterwards. And the law doesn't allow me to consider that. Subsequent remedial measures that people take can't be considered. Do you know that?
Yes, I know that.
How do you know that? Are you a lawyer?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, Your Honor. But I will say that...
Yeah, because most people say, what, at that point, so I could tell that you either were a lawyer or worked with lawyers, because that, that last piece of thing that he did by putting that there, most people would say, well, that's the evidence that he could have done more, but I'm not actually allowed to consider that because then, as a public policy, the law doesn't allow courts to consider that, because if you do that, then no one will ever take a subsequent remedial measure, and we want to encourage people to do that. So the question there's two questions. Which dog went where, and is 2.5 inches just not enough, regardless of whether he put a piece of plywood back there?
Your Honor.
Yeah, let me hear from you.
As you can see from the video showed me pulling back. There's no way that I can get around walking past his gate. His gate abuts
let's be clear, there is a way, but the way would involve you getting off of the public sidewalk. I mean, I have to be honest with you. If I hear barking, and I know there's a dog on the other side, there's a big beware of dog sign and a fence that almost goes to the bottom, I got a feeling I don't want to mess with whatever's behind there, especially if I hear it barking every day. I would be walking on the street for that portion. That's what I would do. The question is, does the law impose upon you that obligation to get off of the public right-of-way because there's a danger? I mean,
I saw the beware of dog sign, but in our neighborhood, there are several dogs that are behind gates, and it's just common when you're walking a dog, other dogs will bark. They're saying, hey, what's up to each other? And I did not think that the sign beware of dog meant beware of vicious dog that will yank and pull your dog's leg under the gate. I mean, we're walking past the gate, and the only way that I can get away from the gate is to walk in the street, and just
walk like 2 feet further or a foot further. But let me just ask you a question. How's your dog?
My dog made a full recovery,
Great.
but it was
What was wrong with the dog? What were the injuries?
His elbow was completely ripped out of its socket.
And had to be readjusted, popped back in?
He had to be put to sleep under anesthesia, and he had to stay.
He had to be anesthetized. When you say put to sleep, I think of other things. The dog's alive. All right. So they anesthetized the dog and popped it back in.
And popped it back into socket.
Right. At what point does common sense demand that you stay away a few inches away from a fence that says beware of dog? I mean, it's really a matter of a few inches, isn't it? At what point do I say, okay, you hear a dog barking every time you walk by, you're a little desensitized to it because it doesn't always mean danger, but it says beware of dog, and I see on the video your dog pulling towards doing what dogs do, because please remember, nothing here is the responsibility of the dogs. Dogs are animals. They have instincts. They do what they do. When we come to court, it's a question of what you humans do. Did you contain your dog enough? Were you foolish to walk that closely to a beware of dog sign? That's what your dog is doing exactly what a dog is going to do. It's going to go sniff and investigate the barking. And your dog is doing exactly what a German Shepherd's supposed to do, which is protect its turf when something's getting close to it.
Can I make a point, Your Honor?
Yeah.
I didn't walk close to his gate, like here's the gate and here I am. I am actually, like, the sidewalk is not a...
No, it's very narrow.
It's just, a normal sidewalk, but you have to understand that my dog's leash, and it wasn't a long line, it was just a standard leash, so they are a bit ahead.
But here's where I am. Where I am is which paw went under what. I'm really at a which paw went under what.
The left paw.
I can't, hold on, I want you to listen to me. You are the only witness to this. And I have to believe you that you saw which paw went under what, as opposed to that you all of a sudden look and that dog has your paw. I just can't mince this meat like this. At some point, common sense has to sort of kick in. And, unless I have some kind of evidence that it's not your dog going under, but his dog going out. I know you have a picture of the dog putting its paw out later. I understand that, but I'm sort of mystified why with a dog barking a beware of dog sign, you wouldn't just move 6 inches to the right. And it all happens so fast. You're walking by there, you think everything's fine, until the moment when you feel the tug. So I'm not going to believe you if you tell me that you saw that it was his paw at that split second in time that I've had to rewind 6 times. You just can't prove by a preponderance of the evidence in here, which I'm sure you understand that standard, that he has to pay you $5,000 over this. Sometimes it's just one of those things that you can't prove, and this is one of them. And because of that, I find in favor of the defendant.
Thank you.
Good luck. I'm glad your dog's well, though.
Thank you.
And so the judge can't rule in your favor because of the reasons she explained. What's your reaction to that?
I think that the judge was a little too hasty in her decision.
What about leash control? Holding your dog a little closer to the neck maybe as you go by that spot and not giving your dog that much play on the leash?
Well, now, of course, since the incident has happened, of course, I hold the leash much closer or not even walk on that side of the street. But unfortunately, I didn't have the warning.
More prudence now. All right, head right around the corner this way.
I'll bring you pictures.
All right, let's see what the winning party has to say here. The defendant comes out on the winning end of this case. You have some compassion for her?
I feel sorry what happened, honestly. I really feel sorry. But my dog behind fence, and I don't know what to say, honestly. I don't know.
Why did you put up those that plywood?
Okay,
afterward?
because I don't want maybe another dog going to pass by, something happens, so I closed the fence all the way down.
You're beware of dog sign, you think, absolves?
Yeah, I thought people going to see the sign and the dog barking. And
all right. You head right around this way, and we'll see if beware of dog sign does absolve in all cases.
Well, here's the thing. If a beware of dog sign is up on the property, it doesn't absolve the dog owner if the dog gets out. But in this case, what it does is it reinforces to the plaintiff walking by that, hey, there's a problem inside. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney+.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're gonna crack this case and prove we're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
You are... Gary the Snake. And your last name? The Snake.
Dream Team. New habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home.
You're clearly working at
Zootopia 2, now available on Disney+, rated PG.
This is the plaintiff, Wayne Levy. He says he responded to an ad in the paper for a 2002 Mustang convertible in excellent condition. He bought the car, took it to his mechanic, and discovered it needed $3,500 worth of work just to get it roadworthy. He was shocked because the ad said the car was in excellent condition. The defendant falsely advertised the car, and he wants his $2,464.15 returned pronto. This is the defendant, Camilo Cipriani. He says he has no idea why he's here, because his car was in excellent condition. It was his baby, which he kept in his garage. He didn't even want to sell the darn car, but his wife is always cold now, so she wouldn't let him put down the top. Bottom line, he doesn't owe the plaintiff a thing, because he got a real great deal on a cherry car, and that's that. He's accused of false advertising.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Wayne Levy.
Yes.
You are suing Camilo Cipriani for $2,464.15. The amount that you've had to put into repairs to the used car that you purchased from him. All right, tell me what's going on.
Well, I seen his ad in the paper, and I called him up, and I got directions to go look at the car. And when I went to look at the car, I noticed right off the bat it needed tires.
Now, you had advertised a 2002 Mustang convertible for $8,500?
$8,000.
$8,000.
And it said in excellent condition, according to the Hartford Courant ad.
Yep.
So after looking at the car, you know.
Did you drive it?
Yes.
Did you have it inspected by a mechanic?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
So, you know, when I called him, I asked him how old he was because I didn't want to buy a sports car off.
How old he was?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't want to buy a sports car off a younger person. So
Okay.
I figured an older person would have taken better care of the car.
Okay.
So
All right.
when I looked at the car, I asked him if it had any oil leaks.
And why were you getting rid of it?
My wife doesn't want to put the top down anymore.
Because she's always cold?
Right.
That's right. How long have you been married?
49 years.
There you go. You got to make some concessions every now and then, don't you?
She's sitting out there and she's complaining it's cold.
That's right, because it probably was cold. Okay, it is what it is. All right, well, good for you. So you're selling the car because my wife doesn't. You know, my husband might say, "Well, I'll just drive it without her," and he'll be perfectly happy. But you gotta keep her there. Okay, so I gotta keep her too.
Okay, so when I asked him if it had any oil leaks, he said it didn't.
Okay, what happens, sir? You buy the car, you're all happy, and then what goes wrong?
Well, I get the car home. After I paid him like a day or two later, and I noticed a little oil in my driveway.
Okay.
So when I seen that, I'm thinking, you know, let me have a mechanic look at it.
Okay.
Which I should have done first. You know,
You think? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there a bill of sale for this?
Yes, I have that.
May I see it? While he's looking for that, when's the first inkling you get that he's unhappy? He calls you how long after?
He calls me the next day, wants me to buy the car back.
And does he say why?
No, he just said he decided it really wasn't what he wanted. He wanted to use the money to fix up a car that he had. And then I didn't hear from him again until about 2 or 3 weeks later when he called with all these problems. But
Wait, so he first called you to tell you I changed my mind?
right.
Is that accurate?
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. You called me the next day.
Don't talk to him, talk to me. Does anybody have phone records?
No.
Okay. If the how much was the selling price?
$6,500.
And so why are you telling the tax man it was $3,000? Besides the obvious reason that you're tax cheating, both of you, because it's your handwriting where you facilitate him tax cheating. Does anybody ever get embarrassed when I catch them at that?
I'm embarrassed.
You should be embarrassed. You too. You know, because every time you don't pay it, everybody else has to pay more. So in the end, what is it that you are suing for?
Well,
you're suing for the repair?
That it cost me to straighten out the car because he said the car was in excellent condition, which obviously, if it was in excellent condition, I wouldn't have had to put $2,500 into the car.
So then in your mind, are you going to keep talking to him? Okay. So in your mind, whenever anybody sells a used car and says it's in excellent condition, they must pay for every repair?
No, but oil leak, that's a major problem. And he said it was garage kept. If it's garage kept, he should have noticed the oil spots in his car, in his garage.
Can I see the picture? Do you have pictures of the car?
Yes, I do.
It must be a sexy car. Tell me your position on this, sir.
I advertised the car originally for $9,500. First guy looked at it, was going to give me $9,000. His wife talked him out of it. Said he didn't need a red Mustang
Those wives, they're
convertible.
nothing but a nuisance.
It's a pain.
Can't live with them, can't shoot them. Go ahead.
So then I'm looking at it with my son, and I noticed the front tires. I said, wait a minute. I said, these tires are not that great. It needed tires. So then my son's going, he says, he said, everything's original equipment. I said, yeah, that's right. I said, whoever buys a car is going to have to put money into it. I told him that right off the bat. I said, everything is original. I said, you need tires. I said, there's $800 right there, $900. I said, you're probably going to have to do brakes. And I said, you probably have to do shocks. After 66,000 miles, those are things that have to be replaced. Right. And I said, there's some scratches on it.
Did those conversations take place?
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. You know darn well it did.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Okay, go on.
So he said, okay, and he offers me, he looked at it, and I showed him the scratches, and He asked me if there was any leaks, and I says, not that I know of. I says, I keep it in the garage. I have an epoxy floor, and my grandkids play in the garage on rainy days.
Okay.
There's nothing on the floor. So where the leak came from, I don't know. Maybe there was, I don't know. Maybe he hit it. I don't know.
When do you say that you brought the car in?
I bring it in to the mechanic, you're saying?
Yeah.
Within a week.
When it says excellent condition, is that a warranty?
No, it's not a warranty. When someone says it's an excellent condition, that's someone's opinion, but you still need to do your due diligence and...
Fair enough, I get your point. Going inside the courtroom.
You know, the problem that you have, though, is that you're buying a used car, and a used car is an as-is sale. So why is your case different than every other as-is sale?
Well, he never put as-is on the bill of sale.
Well, that's what it is by operation of law, unless he's a dealer. Are you a dealer of cars? That was
No.
his personal car.
The blue book.
And it's true. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The blue book on a fair condition is $83.89.
Right, a private sale, $83.89 in fair condition.
And good is $92.14.
Yeah, I mean, you got a tremendous deal on it. Not that that ends up mattering, because I mean, you just so you know, you got a tremendous deal on it. But you know, what I have to determine is if there was some specific warranty given to you that was breached, or whether he knew of what was wrong with the car and hid it deliberately. You have evidence of neither. Because somebody saying the car's in excellent condition, that's not, you can't sue based on that. It's got to be something specific, like I just replaced the X and then it turns out he's a liar, you know, because otherwise the car is as is. If you want to know how excellent the condition is of a car that's a 2002 and you're buying it 10 years later, then you darn well should spend the $100 to have a mechanic look at it. That same mechanic who looked at it should have looked at it before you purchased it. And if you don't want to spend the $100, then you're being penny wise and pound foolish and can't really complain later. That's the problem you have in an as-is sale. And that's a problem that you have in this court case in front of me. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Let's see what the plaintiff has to say in reaction to this. Those are the two biggest words in used car sales, as is. Those two small words. Many cases go down because of that, including yours.
No, I made a mistake. I trusted him. And I figured an older gentleman, I figured, you know, he's going to be honest with me, but I was wrong.
All right, right around the corner there. Sign up. All right, so come on in here. How do you like being called an older gentleman?
Well, I guess it's true.
All right. So he thinks you stiffed him?
No, I didn't stiff him. I didn't want to sell the car. To me, it was excellent condition. I took care of that car. Where the oil leak came from, I don't know.
What do you think happened?
I don't know if he bottomed out someplace or what.
Are you cold?
Yes.
Yes, she's cold. And the top is up.
Harvey?
Okay, short and sweet. It's an as-is sale, and the only way you can undo an as-is sale if there's proof of fraud, and in this case, no fraud here, so the plaintiff loses.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities, so do like I did and have one of your assistant's assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.